All right, let's get started. Welcome and thanks for spending this afternoon with us. I'm Honey from Cygnature.one's marketing team, and I'll be your host for today. We have got an incredible session lined up, practical, relevant, and maybe a little fun too. And I'm not alone. Joining me today is my partner in signing crimes. Just joking. Coming back to the introduction, Pallav Jhala. He's a senior sales manager, products at Signet.one, your moderator for this power packed discussion. Pallav helps enterprises adopt scalable digital solutions and brings sharp insights from the front lines of tech stack transformation.
Thanks, Annie. Thanks for the quick introduction. And hello, everyone. Very good afternoon. Thanks, everyone, for taking your time from the busy schedule and joining the webinar. I am honestly excited about today's conversation because let's face it, we have all seen digital transformation slide decks wherever we go in a meeting or in an event. The hottest topic of discussion has always been digitization. But how often do we talk about what still gets stuck in the real world?
Exactly. The biggest culprits, signing. Approvals have gone digital, workflows are automated, but documents still sit around waiting for the one thing, a signature.
I think even worse. Think about, not only a single sign. Talk about, let's say, multiple signatures in a single document, coordinating with multiple people and across different departments. That too manually. Now imagine the pain that the person who is responsible for, getting one document signed, what he might be going through.
Okay, so we have got a brilliant panel joining us. Let me introduce you all to them. Firstly, we have Swapnil Vedak, Vice President IT at Axis Bank. He's driving large scale digital transformation in banking and knows what it takes to scale tax securely across complex systems. Then we have Janak Patel, lead of IT applications at Kaltaru Projects International Limited, with over 2 decades of experience. He has led digital initiatives across infrastructure, automation, and process optimization. Then we have Sanket Handa, Chief Product Officer at Signet.one and a true product visionary. He has spent 18 plus years building fintech, tech stack, and automation platforms. Last but not the least, we also have Suraj Solanki, Product Manager at Signet.one, who's been instrumental in shaping Signature's enterprise capabilities. Over to you, Pallav.
Well, welcome to the esteemed panelist. Um, in this world where automation and paperless operations is something is being discussed and moving rapidly, the ability to securely sign large volumes of documents, whether it is invoice agreements or any internal documents which has to be signed, has become more critical than ever. Now when we talk about organizations, large organizations, let's go are generating invoices on a monthly basis of 5,000, 10,000 plus invoices. Imagine the volume that they might be generating, and imagine the amount of signatures which are required on those documents. So whether it's a compliance or an operational efficiency or a customer experience, digital signing is at the heart of the modern digital transformation. And honestly speaking, this is one of the most common ignored aspects in any organizations that we take. So whenever we talk about, or let's say if I share my experience, wherein I keep on, meeting multiple different stakeholders on a daily basis. When we talk about, sir, how do we, manage your digital signing? Most of the cases we hear it, we manage it through manually. So imagine the kind of the negligence that any organization is even today facing in terms of the digital signing way of doing the document processing. So today we are excited to have a detailed discussion and dive deeper into our utility, which helps organizations automate and simplify the processes. And that's exactly what we are unpacking today. How enterprise leaders are automating bulk signing at large scales without disrupting their ERP setups. We have, Swapnil sir, we have Janak sir, both coming from one of the largest organizations within India. Swapnil sir from Axis Bank and Janak sir from KPTL Kalpataru, wherein they are tackling high volume documentation using signatures, bulk signing utility, balancing security, auditability, and speed. Swapnil sir, to start off, a very generic or a very common question which everybody, I'm sure, will be having in head. Sir, what triggered that move towards bulk signing at Axis Bank?
Hi everyone. Am I audible, Palo?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when we started with the GST way back in 2017, right? I think those were the days, when we started with obviously the rubber stamping and the signatures on each GST invoicing and then giving to the customer. But then very soon we realized that this is not going to work or this is not going to be a sustainable model, right? And as in as the business grew we had to go for a solution, right? And then that's where I think Signet we engage with Signet, right? Because the compliance application that we have didn't have the capability to have this digitization done, and that's where we engage with Signet for the utility. And we started with a application where we started with the bulk invoicing signatures. And obviously the triggering point was one thing was the manual efforts, as you mentioned earlier. And because it was manual, there was a lot of backlogs, there was a lot of delays in submitting the customers. Obviously it has to be hand delivered or couriered or something like that, right? How this digitalization is helped is automating auto and then getting those invoices sent across over a mails and things like that. So a triggering point was the delays in getting these GST invoices to the customer.
Oh, sir, I had a follow-up question of, how were you managing it before signature? However, you already answered it.
Uh,
And a similar question, and I'm sure Janak sir, you might have also been facing a similar kind of a scenario before you opted for the signature bulk signing solution. Now we have a very interesting combination of panelists over here. One is from a banking industry who have an ingrown in-house ERP system, and one is who is using an SAP system. So next question to you, Janak sir. We already know that SAP also offers a digital signing capability. So what made you to explore a module or a solution which is again out of SAP system? So what is it that made you think of thinking about Signet and having a discussion with us?
Yeah. So SAP is one of the good player in the ERP side. So if we are going forward to SAP product is obviously the license compliance and lot of cost effective in terms of digital signature solutions. So ideally we explore in that area, but it will be required more skills to implement and align with the existing business process. So it's very difficult for us to implement it. So we are explored one of the digital solution, and we have now Signet with us. So it's one of the very robust and easy to migrate with the ERP. Okay, so without any much more expertise or technical skills required, and around lots of digital signatures, day to day is going in remote place, so easily handled through that Signet applications. So that is why, like, this might be it is differ from SAP to one uh, suitable, especially expertise, digital signature. I can say that is it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Janak sir. Coming back to you, Swapnil sir, I do
yeah.
remember that, we had scaled up the entire application and we had then, shifted to wherein we were managing some large volumes specifically for Axis Bank. So, how effectively did the solution help in scaling up at Axis Bank, sir?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So, within Axis Bank, there are several channels using through which this GST invoicing generation is happening, right? So, first we need to understand the various modes of operations, right? One is the normal day-to-day processing of the transaction automatically happening, and the GST invoices getting generated and digitally signed. Other channel is the branch users, which who can actually go in the portal, download the invoices, see the invoice statements. The request comes from there. Another channel could be ad hoc basis, if there are some invoices that needs to be digitally signed, there is a channel available there. The fourth important channel is in the corporate banking, anybody customer can log in into internet banking, and through API calls, this can be done. So the reason of telling you is this: the utility is one, but it serves multiple folds, caters to multiple folds. The request coming from, right? The module is really scalable, and as we started from a hardware dongle to that, now we have transferred. So it was a transformation journey with Signet, along with Signet, where we had a lot of discussions. It was an architecture revamp in this last 4 5 years, and then we have moved to architecture where we have this digital signing certificates automatically taking care. The utility provided by Signet is so scalable. You can have multi-threading, and you can based on your capacity and compute, you can pump in, and that has really helped us to get this bulk invoicing done. So it was a journey. I mean, there were steps taken to reach here, and yeah, I mean, so that is where we are now with Signet.
Thank you, Swapnil, sir, for sharing your experience. Janak sir, one question from my end. So, see, I have been interacting with you since like almost 5 7 years now, and I very well know how tech savvy and how brilliant are you when it comes to technology. So, Janak sir, while we were discussing about this solution, we had two approaches: the file-based mechanism and the API-based mechanism. And we have also seen that, usually customers opt for an API based mechanism for any kind of integration. So, what is your thought, or what are your viewpoints of, why should one have this digital signing solution tightly integrated with the ERP systems rather than manually uploading the data and file, then signing the documents? So, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, Balaji. So basically, there are two approaches you mentioned: API-based and file-based approach. So we are using actually file-based approach because of our existing business scenario. We are various divisions to handle the digital signatures, POs, and invoicings. Daily bulk invoices are digitized. So our existing systems are already be established in our enterprise system and our infrastructure. So we don't want to taking risk to move heads of APIs on. But obviously it is be one of the good options. But as technically and business impact and the criticality of business running, so that way we go for that file one options. So that will be smoothly now is running daily basis. Invoicing as going to the vendors bucket and all. So that was a good option.
Okay, thank you so much, Janak sir. Now we heard from industry experts. Let us hear from Sanket now. So, Sanket has been, one of the pioneers in terms of coming up with innovative solutions and developing innovative products at Signet. So, Sanket, a quick question for you. From a product strategy perspective, what gap did you see in the market that led to we doing the development of this specific solution, that is the bulk signing solution?
Interesting question, Pallav. Thank you for the question, and hi everybody. So, so this started a few years ago. We continuously receive and observe the market in terms of the problem statements that come up and see how well uh, we can solve them. So with regards to this, a few years ago, we saw a clear gap where businesses were actually generating, let's say, thousands of invoices on a monthly basis, some of them even on daily basis through their systems, be it an ERP system or core banking system or different kind of systems like let's say ERP like SAP or Oracle, but they were relying on manual approaches for signing purposes, or purchasing or evaluating expensive signing modules that were not scalable or flexible. So some of the major gaps that we could observe during the discussions were that manual signing of documents, which took significant effort, time, delays. In fact, we delay in sending those invoices even to the customers, and an operational overhead and the compliance risk as a result of that, which also came up. Second, the ERP modules that offer digital signing, especially let's say SAP or others, can be expensive and rigid. We saw customers who actually have global deployments. Their ERPs are managed globally, centrally, and it is a restriction in terms of changing, let's say, making any changes to the central ERPs, and that is where they needed tools outside the ERP to enable the signing. There are a lot of ERPs, let's say be it SAP, Oracle, and many others that restrict changes to invoice formats, or it can be complex. Maybe due to global policies, or let's say the version locks that are applied, or internal approval hurdles that happen. Uh, there are ERPs or traditional ERPs that don't even support ability to customize the invoice templates, which my customers have particularly asked for. So there are customers, or you want to follow different kind of invoice formats for different scenarios, and not able to do that because of the ERP limitations. Compliance with GST and the e-invoicing norms was one more factor. Organizations always want to strive for speed and efficiency in case of bulk transactions. Last few years, we've also seen a pickup in the way banks and NBFCs are financing the invoices, and they prefer or increasingly require digitally signed invoices for, let's say, an authenticity or an audit trail or a disbursement readiness perspective. That was one more factor that we observed. Let's say a couple of more, not all, in depending on the kind of businesses that organizations have, not all ERPs are meant to be online all the time. So there are scenarios that operate where systems operate in offline or hybrid environments as well, where a batch mode based scenario for signing purposes is required outside the ERP as well. And there are organizations that have, let's say, shared service centers, which are corporate, which are very, very big in nature, that have shared service center or admin roles to handle the entire invoice processing. But the digital signing is restricted to a certain set of authorized personnel only. Those are the different scenarios where we observed organizations were facing challenges and needed a solution outside their ERP, which was flexible, scalable, but at the same time could easily work with their existing ERPs without changing or making changes in the ERP to make it work. And this is where the solution was developed.
As you mentioned about ERPs, so Sanket, how easy it is to integrate our solution with the ERP system, whether it is SAP, Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, or any custom ERPs. Can it also work outside ERP as well, like manually uploading into the UI and then signing it? So, can you briefly let us know on those aspects as well?
Yeah, sure. So we are a tech company after all, right? So any solution that we develop, we make sure that it is secure, scalable, and is API first in approach. So our solution can be deployed, bulk digital signing solution can be deployed and can be integrated very easily with ERPs. In fact, it is pre-integrated with a few ERPs already. There are customers who have and so there are customers, most of customers have used it in an integrated fashion. There are customers who are even using it in a standalone fashion, or even using a file-based approach, like Janak sir also mentioned over the call. Now, it in fact taking a step forward, it is deployable in both the ways. While most of the customers prefer that it is deployed within their environments because there is a PFX involved in this process and they want to keep it to them. There are customers who even ask us to deploy this on cloud on our private VM, making sure it is segregated from the rest of the other systems and provide us the required PFX with the approvals where an automated system signing can happen. Now, as we see banks or organizations, corporates of sizes which are beyond medium size, there are multiple signers where you want uh, depending on the kind of the invoice or the document, you want different kind of signers getting involved in this process. Even that capability is handled as a part of the experience. Now, there are two scenarios. One, where customers either manually or via file-based or ERP send PDFs for digital signing. And then there are a set of customers who ask us to generate the PDF in a specific format while they send data as a part of the overall API exercise. And we convert the PDF, create the PDF, sign it, and even send it to the required customers over the email. So even the master list of customers to whom it needs to be sent to is also maintained along with affixing the name of the signer on the document. So for example, the the signature is always in the name of the company, but we've even received scenarios where who from the company has particularly signed that document. You also want to mention the name of the person. Even that can be factored in. So there are, depending on size and need of organizations, we have received so many variations of different needs that all of those have been factored in and in a productized manner in the entire tool that we have created. So that's a slightly longish answer, Pallav, to the question you asked.
Yes, Sanket, thank you. Now, we heard about the reason for developing the product. We heard about the challenges that the industry faces. We also heard about the different types of deployments or the kind of solutions that we have. So we'll move to the next segment now. We'll quickly walk you through the solution, that is the bulk PDF signing utility. We have Suraj. Suraj again has been playing a vital role in terms of understanding customer needs, designing custom solutions, and then helping the team to deliver the solutions to the customers. So, Suraj, over to you. You can quickly walk us through the solution that we have.
Yeah, thank you, Pallav. And hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your time. So I would like to give you a quick walkthrough of, the Cygnature portal's functionality, that what all functionalities we offer, right? And before that, I would like to share a brief mind map of the solution. And at Cygnature One, we cover the end-to-end workflow of digital signing. So when I say end-to-end workflow, so be it extraction from the data, so like Sanket and Pallav mentioned that we can extract the data from the ERP systems, right? So that auto mechanism from reading from the multiple ERP system. So it is not limited to any particular ERP system like SAP or Oracle, but any ERP which supports integration, we can fetch the data from it, right? And we can also provide you the custom connector to make this entire mechanism automated. So I'm just sharing my screen. Yeah, so this is a brief mind map of the overall solution, that how we, cover the workflow of digital signing, right from the ERP system to the final output file, which is a digitally signed file. Right, so we have here, if you can see, this is the Cygnature portal, right? We can say it as a signing service because it has your digital certificate or the dongles which are attached to the machine, right? So we will require two type of certificate. It could be PFX, it could be into the digital form wherein there is no hardware or no dongles are required for this. And we have a physical form of signing wherein you will need to attach the dongle, right? Which can be in the name of individuals as well, and it can be in the name of companies as well. Now, to cover the entire workflow, the main ingestion is about the PDFs or the documents. So in bulk PDF signing utility, we do not only solve the problem of invoice signing, but any document you may want to sign in the bulk, that documents you can proceed. We have certain keywords, we have certain placeholder based signing solution wherein you can define the particular place that where you want to sign the document, and you can also determine the keywords that, let's say, there is a word like digital signature or signed by or authenticated by. So that type of keywords can be given to the application, and application will go and sign that particular document. Right. So on the left side, there is an ecosystem of yours. So let's say this is the client ecosystem or the the company which wants to sign the document. So it could be the ERP system, it could be any third-party application, or it can be any application. Right? From there, data can either travel via XFTP, so that is nothing but file-based approach, or it can be via API. Now, you might be wondering that is it mandatory to perform integration for using the Cygnature tool? So no, it is not mandatory. You can also upload the data manually. So when I say manually, right, forget about this particular part onto the left hand, right? You can directly come into the Cygnature application, you can upload the data and you can sign it. But as a Cygnature, since we are a technology company, we recommend that you automate the entire workflow. So right from triggering from the ERP system to signing it and getting it into the output folder or getting it into the email part, right? And guys, let's keep this webinar more interactive. Feel free to raise your concerns into the chat box, or if you have any doubts on this, I would love to elaborate more on that part. So, this is the overall architecture, that how multiple files can come through multiple sources, or how you can upload it manually. And once the signing is done, right, the signed file can be provided into a local machine. So let's say if there is a local warehouse team, or there is some operational team is there, we can provide their machine output to get that output file. Or if you want the email output of it, this is the most used output format or output methodology to get the invoices, right? So you can configure the emails which you want to trigger once the signing is done, and all those particular users or team members will receive the email, right? And even if there is a failure, we can also auto shoot the email that this particular document is failed because of so and so difference, right? So that way system can work in background. So I'm going to show you the Signet portal. But as a client or as an end user, you don't need to log into Signet portal all the time to sign the data or sign the invoices. You can simply, use the background mechanism, and that background mechanism will, take care of all the signing piece, and you will only get the output file. I have got the question from Mr. Sandeep, is that which approach is followed by clients. So it is mainly it is followed by company type of signing, that they prefer PFX, right? It is signed in the name of company. But yes, we do have facility wherein you can provide the remarks of the person, of any individuals for whom you want to sign. So yes, you can provide company name as well as the individual name in the remarks. Now,
Suraj, Swapnil here. I mean, just to address that question, I mean, so within Axis Bank, we are using the facility where a specific name of a official gets printed on the digital invoice. So that's very much possible, because in Access we have separate signatories for corporate invoices, separate signatories for retail invoices, and we have two officials on which we have procured separate PFX digital signing certificates. So yeah, that is very much possible through the Signet utility.
thank you so much. And you can add as many signatories as you want. So its system is not restricting you that only you can provide a couple of them or one of them. You can provide, so we have companies who have 40, 50 different type of signatories for the different type of invoices. So they are signing invoices, they are signing purchase orders, they are also signing some other document which are which needs to be sent to the vendors or the customer. So system supports all type of document. The thing is that you need to provide certain type of metadata. So when I say metadata, it is nothing but the identifier, that which signatory. So if you have multiple signatory and the multiple documents, you need to give the identification to the system, that which type of document should go to which type of signatory, and it should be mailing to whom. So all this detail needs to be provided into the system, and according to the system will trigger the workflow. Right. Now, I would like to give you the quick walkthrough of Signet tool, that how we cater the requirement of bulk PDF signing, right? What are the options of configuration over here, and how the emails are sent, and what is how the output looks like onto the Signet tool. And one more use case which I would like to cater over here is that it's about creation of PDF. So we are not only signing the document, but we are also creating the PDF. So let's say your ERP system doesn't support creation of invoice copy or the PO copy, right? Or you have certain data available into a JSON or Excel sheet. So we can, we can streamline this. We can make it configurable that it will be showcased as a PDF file. The PDF stream will be generated onto the system and it will get signed. So first part is image or PDF generation part can be done by Signet, and it is the optional offering, right? So if you already have the mechanism through which you can generate the PDF copy, nothing like that, you can proceed that, and that particular PDFs will be proceeded for signing. Now, coming to the overall dashboard part, so this is the high-level dashboard, and again, the portal comes with the users and admin type of roles. So you can assign roles and rights to respective users for that particular locations as well. So onto the Signet tool, you can create your different locations. It can be your as per the GSTN ID. So you can create different type of GSTN onto the tool, right? And you can also give roles and rights to the user. So for an example, I'm taking care of Gujarat location. So I will be only assigned rights of Gujarat so that I can only access the document of, Gujarat location. And accordingly for the other location. Now, Signet being a technology company, we are much more stringent about the security part of it. Because the invoices which you are sending to us or PDF which you are sending to us, right? Everything is encrypted into the database. That is the first part. And from the organization as well, from your organization as well, we do restrict user based on the roles and rights, and we do have the detailed audit trail. So when all the documents which are uploaded, right, it is getting logged onto the audit trail, what changes are done, right? If the document is not signed, if it is reprocessed, everything can be reviewed from here, right? And this is quick manage organization module wherein you can configure the businesses, locations, users, right, for your ease of function. But this is just a one-time activity. Whenever you get new business or new locations, you can add them. You can also add the new users as per your need, but it is a one-time activity. And if at all any individual leaves the organization, you can also disable the user. Now I would like to go to the actual module wherein you will be able to the PDF. So this is the PDF processing part. So whatsoever type of documents you proceed onto the Signet tool, be it invoices, be it PO or any type of document, that will be available over here. So this is a listing screen wherein you can search data based on the file name, based on the remarks. So in the documents as well, or while uploading the data, you can also provide the remarks. So there are certain clients who are using ODN number as a remarks, because invoice which will go to the customer, it will not be having ODN number. It might be having GST invoice number. Or if you want to add some reference number onto it, you can add, and system is pretty much configurable and flexible enough to search the data based on the remarks you enter. And you can also search data based on the custom values. That custom values can also be searched. Now, the most important thing over here is that time filter, because companies like you, right, who are having multiple registrations, so might be having more than 100 or 500 documents per day, right? So in that case, you can search data based on the defined date period. You can search any period which you may want, and you can filter out the data. And if you only want to, so let's say there is a IT team of customers who is logging into the application whenever there is a failure of email or failure of signing. So that particular signing can be done, and that particular filtration can be done onto the application. So we have that facility. Okay. And now moving forward to the signing particular part. So this is the signing, actual core signing part, which is being done onto the application. This is a DSC subject. So whatever subject line which you are passing onto the DSC, that it can be done, or over the email that can be done. And this is the timestamp of it. So these are the timestamp. And now if you have configured the email address to whom you want to send the email, that emails will be also visible over here. So this is nothing but a snapshot of the documents which you are trying to process. So let me show you the sample copy which we have processed. So this is the sample copy of Signet Digital. Right now, there is a point over here which I would like to highlight. One part is that we can generate the PDF copy out of the data which you provide. So if you don't have the functionality to generate the invoice PDF copy from your ERP system, we have got the solution. If you already have, but if you want to change the layout and format of it, we have the complete flexibility to design the invoice copy as per the way you want. And the third part, which comes in for the compliance purpose, is that generation of QR code. So for many customers, we are doing this because government only provide the base 64 of QR code right into the response code when you generate the invoice copy. And many customers are not having that smart form updated into their ERP system, right? And they don't have that facility to update the QR code onto it. Generating the fields is easy job, but generating the QR code or affixing that QR code is challenge in the industry. So with the help of Cygnature tool, you can also generate the QR code or you can affix the QR code which is received from the government. So this QR code can be affixed onto the invoice copy, right? Invoice template can be designed as per the way you want, or if you already have it and if you only want to add the QR code, you can add it. And there is a IRN copy as well, IRN number as well. So that IRN number which is received from the government can be provided over here. Right, so this is the sample copy of it, but formats are not limited to this. You can change the color. You can also add the brand assets, brand logos onto it to make it more suitable to your brand, and it will look like white label invoice copy, which is directly extracted from your ERP system. Right, so we are working with many customers who are changing the colors of the invoice page just to make it align with their brand colors. Right, so we can make all this solution with the help of Cygnature tool. And this is a sample copy of it. Once it is scanned, you will get all the responses which is provided by the government portal. Right, so it is fully government compliant invoice copy provided by the Cygnature tool. And now the core part is the signing part. So here you can sign it, and once opened in PDF or Adobe Reader, the green tick of the signing will also be visible over here. So here you can see that digital signed by XYZ person, right? What is the timestamp of it? And it is government compliant digital sign. So government is mandating that you need to sign the digitally compliant invoice copy. So Cygnature portal supports this. You can sign this, and the sign will be visible over here, right? And the job of Cygnature doesn't stop here. What we do is, let's say you have provided the customer details over here, right? So we can also send it to the point of contact of the customer that this particular invoice is signed and this is the copy of it. So we can provide that functionality, email-based functionality. Or if you have your team, your procurement team or your customer-facing team who might need the copy of invoice, then you can also provide their email ID and they will be receiving the email of it, right? And from this, I would like to highlight one more use case. So there are customers who might not use this bulk PDF signing day in and day out, right? So let's say I'm talking about the invoice, but there would be certain copies like master service agreement or something like that, so which might not be needed every day, right? So in that case, what you can do is you can have some group email ID. You can send that particular master copy or document which needs to be signed it to that particular email, right? That email will upload the data onto this particular application, which is there onto your screen, right? And it will get signed and it will be provided to the same email ID. So we have that functionality in which you can enable the workflow based on the email address as well. So you don't need to even integrate it with Cygnature tool. Only email-based functionality will also work onto the Cygnature tool. So that's the additional offering from us. Right, and last but not the least, you can get all the statuses, email functionality. You can also download the CSV file of it if you want to download the CSV. And these are the audit trails and the reports which we provide. The audit trail is nothing but the type of changes or type of document which are processed by Cygnature tool. And let me just show you the configuration page. This is one-time activity, and Cygnature will also support you in configuring this based on the signing which you are providing to us. So here you can configure the digital certificate and push pull setting, PDF pull setting. That is nothing but the configuration of your local machines. So here you can add as many signatories as you want. You can add the text that if digital signature word is written, then I want to, my sign will go to this particular location, right? This particular position is given, and application will sign the data, right? So accordingly, system will trigger the workflow that on what basis needs to be signed. So let's say here the name of the person is written. So whenever that name of the person is written, my application will go there and sign it. So that way, application is smart enough to identify the place to sign based on the text, based on the position which you define. Right? You can also define the position that onto the invoice copy, I want to sign on the right bottom corner of it. So you can provide me the position X and position Y, width and height of it. and DSC margin, and accordingly system will go to that place and sign it. Right, and you can add as many signatories as you want. So you can see here there are 5 or 6 or 7 type of signatories are added, but it is not limited to that. You can add as many signatories as you want, and system will operate accordingly. Yeah. So that was about the Signet application part, which will run in the background, but it is much more intelligent to cater your need of signing the document based on the text, based on the position, based on the multiple signatory, and for the multiple type of documents. Yeah. I would like to hand it over to host for taking it further. Yeah, Honey, if you would like to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for a quick walkthrough of the portal, Suraj. So now we'll move to the next segment, that is Q&A session. I'm sure many of the attendees would have questions pertaining to the solutions that you have demonstrated. So we'll pick up questions one by one. Humble request to everyone to post your questions in the chat section or raise your hand. So we'll take up the questions. Yes, Sandeep sir, you have a question. Okay, so what I understand is that agreements can duly sign through DSC and send to the counterparty. Is understanding correct? Can you also share the presentation so that I can share with my counterparts? Sure, sir. We'll share the presentation. We'll reach out to you to have a detailed discussion in person as well for understanding your use case and taking it ahead. So we'll share that. The processed samples you tried to show, I could see as only your application windows was probably shared. So, Mandarji, if you could elaborate on the query that you have.
Hello,
Mandarji, you can speak. Yeah, you are audible.
sorry, that typing mistake. Actually, I could not see. This is what I meant to say because the samples which you are showing, the tick or the picture or whatever, it was not visible at all. Only the application window was visible. So
If you could just reshare and show it again.
Sure. I'm sharing my screen.
thank you.
Yeah. Is it visible to you?
Yes, now it's visible.
Yeah. So this is the copy which can be generated by the Signet portal, right? And the format of it and branding of it can be changed as per the way you want, right? Position of QR code can also be changed. So it is fully configurable that way, right? So we have the facility in which we can generate the QR code, and you can also, change the signing position, that where you want to sign. So some might want to sign here, some might want to sign here. So that position of signing can be changed. And once you open that into the browser, that green tick mark of digital signing, which is there as an authentication parameter, you can also see that. So this is the typical copy which is generated by Signet and signed by it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the highlighting. Yeah, Pallav, over to you.
Whether signed by company is valid under GST. Suraj or Sanket, if you could take
Yes.
this.
Yeah, it is valid under the GST.
Any other questions?
Sandeep Shah has asked one question regarding the can customer address be captured for sending the signed PDF invoices to them? Can this be automated? So answer is yes, we can automate this. We have the sending functionality or the email facility wherein you can maintain the email ID of the customer and it can be automatically sent to the customers.
Is it required to open the PDF in Adobe for the green valid signature to get displayed?
No. There are requirements that we received particularly from customer that if the certificate is uh, active, just use a capability to have a green tick based on certain criteria on the PDF, and this so that it can be used directly from a printing perspective as companies want to see a tick. Obviously, it's a grayscale printing, so not a green tick, but a tick, and that has been factored as a part of the solution.
Sandeep sir, you are unmute if you have any more questions. I can see you raising your hand. So
So basically, what I understand is that company can take DSC and that can be used for assigning the invoices across the company at all locations, and that will be valid under IT Act as well as GST.
Yeah, totally aligned with you.
Okay. And can you means demonstrate any invoices where it is signed by company? If you can share some invoice where it is signed by company.
Okay,
Yes,
just a minute.
Sandeep
Let-
sir, I'll connect to you on this, and we'll discuss it one on one. So we can also discuss on the other aspects as well.
Okay, fine.
the
Yes,
other
so Mr.
question is,
Mandar also have a question.
yeah,
Currently, we are using bulk signer, which is a system-based solution, and basically these DSC signatures we are receiving on USB drive. So in our case also, we have multiple signers, especially for GST invoices. And currently, we are also using some basic programming wherein like the invoices are already, we are using first of all ERP LN, and Cygnature is used as a GSP, wherein our invoices are generated from the ERP itself. We are using basically
So we lost you in between, I think.
GSP for processing the data. It is directly getting processed as pass-through URLs using the ERPLN option. So our system itself is generating a PDF invoice in multiple pages. Like for example, if uh, the original plus 2 copies, for example, and then subsequently this additional solution for signature applying bulk signer, we are also doing that only the first page is getting extracted, that is getting digitally signed and stored separately, so which we can maintain as a digital copy. So basically the size of the original invoice, which was originally having 3 pages, the size also can be reduced, and only the one page, which is the original page, can be retained. So something similar option also would be possible using your solution.
It will be possible. We have a lot of other implementations for our, as you said, for our ASP GSP, which we have done using for Info as well. And it is very much possible to integrate this via API or via file-based mechanism. I would rather suggest a slightly different approach than the one you mentioned. What you mentioned is definitely possible. There is another way and maybe a slightly better way to handle it, which we can discuss offline, and we can recommend that to you as well.
Sure.
So the answer is possible, yes.
Thank you.
the next question is, can we integrate this tool with Oracle Fusion?
Definitely, yes. There are customers who use this tool with Oracle Fusion, both. So as I said, the solution is API first. There are customers who use it in an API integrated fashion, and that API is integrated, can be integrated with any ERP, irrespective of whichever ERP. So answer to question is yes. There are customers who also use it in a file-based integration approach, and both of them are possible. Now, we can use either of those approaches with the Oracle Fusion, depending on the licenses that you would have taken from a Fusion perspective, which either contains API or not, and we can plan out the rest of the approach accordingly.
The next question is bulk upload of PDF
Hold on.
invoice
There is
copy?
another question which says how secure the data will be from a confidentiality perspective. In the same question Saurabh has asked.
Yeah.
Saurabh, this solution can be deployed directly in your infrastructure. So the complete information and everything resides with you only then. So completely secure.
Also, he wanted to know if the bulk upload of PDFs or invoice copies for multiple invoices is possible.
Yes, yes. That is what bulk signing is about for us. Yes.
I don't see any other questions for now.
So very, very practical and relevant questions, the one that we typically discuss or that come up during customer or prospect interactions. These are very much similar questions. And yes, these are being addressed as a part of the product.
Yes, so would like to wrap up the session. A big thanks to our amazing audience, insightful speakers, and Pallav for moderating the discussion so smoothly. I believe this session was engaging and it covered important aspects of bulk signing. We will be sharing the recording with you. If you want to reach out to us, you can email us at kesha.shah@signet1.com. Do follow our LinkedIn page to receive more updates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Swapnil sir, thank you,
Thank you
Janak sir.
all.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
your
Thank
time.
all.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.